right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Dream Championship Wrestling, episode number 20, and we're going to try to make this a special one. But before we get into anything that's going to happen, we need to revisit something that has already happened. And I mentioned, or at least on social media, that we had an editing issue. I also mentioned it in the comments of the previous video. You may have been wondering, what the hell happened to Kenny Omega? We had the match scheduled with Kenny. It was a tryout. We promoted it. Well, this is what happened. And I mean, I literally... Okay, well, I'm trying not to get angry, guys. Kenny Omega canceled the match for personal reasons, so Kenny is done. He is, I don't care what he does. He can wallow away in some other promotion. He can remain a free agent. I mean, what a jerk. I mean, this was his ticket into Dream Championship Wrestling, so F Kenny Omega. He's out of here. So there you go. Kenny dropped out on us. He will not be invited back. He will not be signed by Dream Championship Wrestling. Big surprise there, I'm sure. But let's jump into things here. Let's try to make episode 20 a special one. Let's just go into management first and foremost. And let's go ahead and take care of all this stuff real quick. And as we were going through real quick, I think we made a mistake, although it's not really a mistake. I believe we increased the ring doctor. I was clicking the button too fast. So we now have a level 3 ring doctor, which is not a bad thing. It is obviously going to help the athletes. In order to put on good cards, I need to have the athletes available, so no big deal there. Okay, so everything else looks good for now. We're going to stay with it. Well, you know what? Let's level up the sandbag and level up the medicine ball. Some nice cheap upgrades. Alrighty, let's return and let's look at merch. And we sold out of t-shirts, photos, and branded snacks at the last event. Now, when you don't know what's going to happen, and I will let the cat out of the bag, since it's episode 20, we are going to try to do some invites. Normally, I kind of edit that stuff out, and I put you guys in suspense. I think we'll just let it run on this episode. I'll let you see the whole process as I go through it. So first and foremost, t-shirts. Let's get 3,000 of those bad boys. Photos. Let's get 3,000. We're just going to keep jacking up expenses. Masks, let's dispose. And then let's just get 1,000 because they're $80 each. And branded snacks, 3,000. And certainly DVD Blu-ray. Let's dispose of these, and I think 1,000 should be good as well. Alright, looks pretty good to me. I mean, we are a little light on action figures, but again, they're at a higher price point, so I think we should be fine. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back. Well, let's go to... Actually, here, let's do this. Let's go to records and help. General advice. And... Or no, wait, wrong thing. Personal advice. Trust. Oh, lordy. Brian Cage isn't happy. And Brian did just come off of a tour of Japan, and he's getting a title shot, or at least I think he's getting a title shot on this card. It depends on the health of Claudio Castagnoli, but we will check all that together. Okay, so let's go back. I believe it's what, HR. I think it's a consult. Brian Cage. Change salary. And let's see here. I won't disrespect Brian with a small little $200 and something bump. I mean, Brian, he's the man. I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead and give Brian the... We're going to give him $4,097. and he's already a superstar in terms of trust, but he deserves the money. So there you go, Brian. I'm not a cheap owner. I've mentioned that many times. You got to balance between keeping the talent happy and keeping the business happy, and Brian Cage certainly is worth that money. Okay, let's see here. What is next? It's been a couple weeks since I've played this, and I'll kind of tell you guys this, because I've had a couple of these weeks where I'm like, man, sorry, I can't put an episode up this week. I've got a multitude of things going on here. It's just very busy, and it takes a lot to get through these episodes, to let the matches play out, to then edit the episodes takes longer than it does to get through the actual original episode. So it takes quite a while, and I was cranking these out like a madman, but I have things going on at work, which I hope are good things, which eat up more of my time. And I also have a secondary project that has absolutely nothing remotely to do with this, but it's kind of a bucket list thing that I think I'm going to tackle. And maybe I'll reveal that. Maybe a few of you may be interested in that at some point down the road, but we're not going to go into detail on that right now. All right, let's go back here. Let's event, and let's invite. So, who would we like to invite and hope they show up to this card? Killian Dane. We talked about potentially signing Killian. And let's cancel. So what was Killian? He is strong style. Let's see. And he wants nothing to do with us. All right. We didn't want him either. Nick has been floating around forever. It's just the popularity isn't there. I mean, Killian's not much greater, but man, Nick Aldis, the European market is pretty much non-existent in this game the way it worked out. So his B in Europe doesn't really help us much. Finn's okay, but he's a showman. Okay, and that's it. Sin Cara. Well, how can we forget? I didn't want to brush over that. At the end of the previous episode, our scout found Sin. Sin's a good price tag. Sin is strong style. I mean, I guess we could bring him in for a one-off. All right, so we got Sin Cara. And that should, we should find a good opponent for him. Let's continue on here. I'll tell you, let me see here. There's one man. You guys know it. I've mentioned it before. Where is he? I've been trying to get this son of a gun on a card. I've been trying to sign him. And am I going past him? No, here he is. The Great Muta. $20,000. I'm willing to pay it. Come on, Muta. Gosh darn it. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and I just would like to get him at least in one match here. Let's see here. So like this guy, Williams Cruz, he is a popular strong style wrestler. But let's go for real recognized name value here. Since it is episode 20, we want to bring in some big boys. Actually, let me go back to, where's the MWA? Oh, I thought Jeff Hardy was part of the MWA. Jeff Hardy's been fun. We've had him on a couple cards. Maybe we could get him back. I don't think any of the WWE talent. Roman Reigns is hospitalized. Who is their champ? Kevin Owens holds every title. I think we've tried before to get Randy, and it didn't work out. What's Bobby Lashley's price? 46. I'm not worried about making that money up at this point. Poor Wardlow, he'd probably like to come back over, and he's hurt right now. I like Jungle Boy Jack Perry, but he's a lucha. And see, this is the type of stuff I typically edit out. So hopefully this isn't boring you, because it does take some time. I'm trying to actually be quicker than normal. It takes some time to go through and, you know, really make a solid decision. Let's see if we can get Wardlow back. Okay, cool. So we got Wardlow. And the problem is, though, the more of these guys that I invite, the more of an opportunity that they're not going to show. And then it's really going to throw off episode number 20 in this big card. And I don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead. One more guy here. I am going to try to get Jeff Hardy. And it was Super Lucha. Okay, cool. So we got Jeff Hardy. So, besides the ungodly talent that I have on this roster, we're going to get Sin Cara, Jeff Hardy, and Wardlow in matches. We've got the gym taken care of, the facilities taken care of, merchandise taken care of. Let's go ahead and start booking an event. This gets harder and harder now that we are loaded with more talent. When I started with 6 guys, it was really easy to, with the rankings and the standings and matching guys up. The more the roster grows, the more things become difficult. But, hey, we are the promoter of the year, so I can handle it. All right, so we're not going to open the night with any of these invites because I don't want them to not show up. However, we've got one guy on our roster that has never won a match. So let's go ahead and bring Bo Dallas back and see if we can get him a win. Oh, Bo. Bo. Don't know who we can put him against. You look at him on paper, he's a B attack and a B defense. He's not bad. I mean, him and Rhino were like the stalwarts. They ran, they've had a program. They've had to have met 4 or 5 times. Rhino has won every one of them. I just don't want to do that to Bo again. Well, you know what? Ricky Starks. Yeah, let's go ahead and put Ricky Starks in there with Bo. Maybe Bo can pull it off. All right, next match of the night. I'm probably still going to avoid the invites. We'll wait till the next match. Let's go ahead and do Rhino. Yeah, I'm thinking Cody. Oh, you know what? No, we're not going to do Cody. We're going to do Yuki, the testicular claw son of a you-know-what. We're going to put him earlier on the card. We're trying to penalize him. Hopefully Rhino beats his ass. All right, next up. Let's see here. Let's go with... How about we'll bring in Cody. And Cody will take on one of the invites. Let's see, Wardlow, Jeff Hardy, Sin Cara. I think we're going to do Sin Cara Charles Young. That'll be a little bit more of a high-flying affair. Let's do Wardlow. So Wardlow and Cody Rhodes. That is a hell of a matchup there. Next up, since I mentioned it, let's do Sin Cara. Oh, wrong click. Sin Cara and Charles. And matchup after that. Let me check something too here because I'm rolling around here. And again, I'm kind of losing track because I'm trying to be quicker than I normally would be. Okay, Claudio is in good shape. So Claudio is going to defend the title tonight against Brian Cage. Main event. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do... Let's do... I'll tell you what. Let's do CM Punk. Throw him in against Bray. Bray coming off a big win. Next match. Isn't this fun? The booking. We got to get Jeff Hardy in there. He's a little bit lower down the card. He deserves it because he has helped us out numerous times. Who would be a good opponent for Mr. Hardy? Well, I'd say Rob Van Dam sticks out on paper as a perfect opponent. But we're going to go ahead. We'll do Matt Jackson, our junior heavyweight champion. All right, let's move on. Next match of the night. So we've got what, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 3 more matches if we use every wrestler on the card. For number 20, I'm going to do it. We're going to have a loaded card here. All of the invites are used. We know what the main event's going to be. So that leaves us with Claudio, Rob, Kachiro, and Braun. Oh, no, wait. And we have Eric Rowan. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Eric. 6. Okay, so yeah, it's these 6 wrestlers remaining. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do Eric Rowan. Because I want Braun to be in the co-main event. We'll do Eric Rowan, Rob Van Dam. And I think Braun and Kachiro is a good matchup. Kachiro, Braun. And again, I apologize if this is driving you crazy. This is the stuff I typically try to edit out. I just thought I'd, for once, kind of let you see the whole... And I don't want to say for once. We did this early on. But then as the card grows and the length of these shows grows, I try to edit out a lot. And then when that happens, it, you know... it makes it a lot more difficult to continue to crank out episodes, the editing. And I'm kind of an editing stickler. It may not be anything noticed, but I really try to be careful with what I'm doing and, you know, making everything flow nicely and just be a good experience for you guys. All right, configure a title match. There we go. Our 5th champion, Claudio Castagnoli, defending the title in the main event against Brian Cage. Okay, so what I like to do is configure match style and rules, and I just go through, and with the championship bout, I said we were going to start making those 20-minute time limits, so we're going to do that. And speed. Our speed's always 125. I always go in and check these because like that, I don't know why it defaulted back to 100. It doesn't make any sense. So we go through. Now that one's 125, 125. See, it's just very odd. So I don't know what I'm missing. Okay, so all the matches are at 125 speed. All right, I'm not going to run down the card because you just followed with me. We're going to use Tommy Young, of course. Hopefully he can avoid being injured in this one. However, we do need, you see in the top right-hand corner, we have a full house, 15,000. This is a big card. I'm wondering if we can go to a large hall. We can... What about a rural environment, large hall? Okay, so let's stick with urban, large hall, and what if we go down to a $40 ticket price? So and here's what you have to judge. So we have 7,150 people that we're losing. If we go down to 40, so for $20, 7,000 people, that's what, $140,000. We're getting 7,000 more people in the building, if my math is correct. But that's more merch that's going to sell. And really, $140,000 in the whole scheme of things is not tremendous. So I think we'll stick with this. I want to get 35,000 in the building. I hope that can be considered a great success. Some of this I just don't know. I'm learning as I go. But you know what? Let's go with it. Let's give it a shot, guys. Let's confirm the match card. We're going to proceed, and I will not sit with you and commentate through all the matches. Maybe I'll jump in. We'll watch Brian Cage and Claudio together. But I'm just going to keep fingers crossed here that no one drops out. I did everything I possibly could here. It's like the game is working against me. I think it's the WWE. I think it's Stephanie and Hunter. They're telling guys not to show up for us, but let's go ahead and proceed. You freaking... And there you go. So Wardlow, and that's again going to hurt attendance. And when things like this happen, it hurts attendance way too much. So Wardlow's done. He's never coming back. Sin Cara, I hope, shows up. Jeff Hardy always shows. So it's just Wardlow. So Cody Rhodes is not on here. That's disappointing. And they don't let you. So we went from, what, 30-something thousand down to 24. I mean, that's just absurd. Just absurd. For Wardlow, give me a break, guys. All right. Well, we don't have a choice. That's what happened. We got to proceed. It's always something with this game. But we're going to continue to work our way to the top. Again, I call this a limited series. I'll just throw this in before I hit next match. You know, once we overtake SWA and we are the #1 promotion, that was the goal of this series. I don't know how long that's going to take, but that is the end game, and then we'll call this series done. But until then, we're going to keep plugging away, so here we go. All right, guys, as promised, I'm here with you. Crowd is electric. Brian Cage, the challenger. The effing machine is, I've never seen a more apropos nickname. He is absolutely an effing machine. He has added a lot to his arsenal. God, the crowd is loud. Good God almighty. Here's our champion, Claudio Castagnoli. Big win on episode number 19. Grasped the title from Braun Strowman. Right before this match, Braun Strowman, though, was a very impressive win of his own in just over 10 minutes. I will remind you, this is a 20-minute time limit. Tommy Young is the referee, and away we go. This is big, and this is real big. First defense for Claudio. Brian Cage, a one-time Dream Champion. He was not able to even have a defense of the title. Two big men here going at it. And next week, I haven't determined yet if we are going to have Braun Strowman get a shot at the title with that impressive win over Asakawa, or if we're going to give the champion a rest. I mean, it will depend. If we have a new champion in this one, maybe we will make him, being Brian Cage, defend next week. If Claudio pulls this out, he's had a couple of rough weeks in a row. We'll probably give Claudio the week off. And another thing we'll do on the next card, we won't invite anybody, is you never know what you're going to get. Big super kick, Brian Cage. A little something new to the arsenal. It's like Shawn Michaels, for God's sakes.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
These guys, they don't care about the count.
14, 15.
Tommy Young, the deep, stern voice. Big spin, needs to be careful. He could break Brian Cage's neck. Brian Cage, known as the knockout master in Dream Championship Wrestling. I think he has knocked out 3 opponents thus far. Claudio. Nice transition there, a 2 count. Claudio is like the ultimate wrestler. I mean, he's tall, he's big, he's strong, he's athletic. Look at the high flying. Crushing the sternum area of Brian Cage. Ooh, but he misses. And then Brian Cage, though, in terms of a short burst athlete, you're not going to get any more skilled and powerful. His knock in the past has been cardio. Once you hit about 10 minutes, he can struggle. We'll see if that has changed since the trip to Japan. Claudio, he's fired up. Getting the crowd into it. They love him. Listen to the crowd. There he goes. Another big spin coming. Oh, no. Claudio! Woo! A near fall. front face, kind of pile driver plant. Right now, Claudio's taking it to Brian. I got to tell you, I don't think oh my God! Oh my God in heaven, are you kidding me? Wow! Holy mackerel. I was literally just getting ready to say, I don't think this is going to go 20 minutes. It didn't go 9 minutes. Jesus. Claudio Castagnoli. Unfortunately, the match was not long enough to really get a high match eval, but we'll take it. Okay, so that really did drop the card rating, the last two matches. However, let's go ahead to the top here and do a little recap. Bo Dallas. Congratulations, Bo. First ever win in Dream Championship Wrestling. Couldn't be happier for this guy. 86% match eval. You could have done a little bit better job there, Bo. Then we have the 100% machine and the winner of $60,000, Rhino.
60 G's, baby!
Yuki also gets 60,000, unfortunately, but we might hold that from him because he's an a-hole. Then we had Sin Cara making a not his debut. I mean, it was his debut, but just an appearance, and he looked good. He had some kind of move, or I swear to God, he jumped 20 feet in the air. Then almost the winner of 60 G's as he beats Charles Young, 99% match eval. Next up, CM Punk and Bray Wyatt. Not a barn burner by any stretch, but CM Punk able to get the victory. Then we had Matt Jackson, our junior heavyweight champion, not defending the title, but taking on Jeff Hardy. And Dream is a big fan of Jeff Hardy. He always shows up, always puts on a hell of a match. He did here as well, 98%. This was a great match, a lot of high-flying, exciting action. Then the Coco main event, 94%. RVD gets it done against Eric Rowan. Congratulations, RVD. He is looking, he's trying, making his way for another title shot, as is Braun Strowman. Heck, maybe that's your main event next week. RVD, Braun Strowman again. And the winner gets the next title shot. We'll see. But Braun Strowman, not a great overall performance in terms of excitement for the fans. Our resident Dave Meltzer, it didn't tickle his pickle. We got a 74% on that as he defeats Kichiro Asakawa. And then, as you just saw with my very poor commentary, Claudio Castagnoli defending his title. 70% match eval. I've seen better, but it was just so quick. Then he defeats Brian Cage in convincing fashion. Brian is going to have to look to get back in the mix. All right, let's end the event. Okay, well, we did get a success. Wardlow, he really effed us over on this one. We will not forget that. And news and notes from around the online fantasy wrestling world. Anything that catches our eye. Nothing caught my eye. And we just keep on accruing assets. The bank account keeps on growing. $758,000 in expenses, but we were able to add $1.3 million in income for a monthly add to our bank account of nearly $560,000. $6.6 million in assets. I am looking forward to ending this year and beginning the new year and doing the recap and seeing how far we moved up. We're obviously not going to overtake SWA this year, but if I can put some big cards together, we can finish the year with a bang. I think we can take the number 2 spot and be ready maybe to call it quits, to finish the goal in year number 3. And that would be impressive, if I do say so myself. All right, this month we have a singles tournament scheduled with NCPW. We also have a singles tournament with the MWA, the Major Leagues of Mexican Professional Wrestling. And something that the game glossed over. I didn't gloss over this. We threw a party if you remember in the last episode. And I don't know what happened with the party. I guess you just throw it. So other promoters came. And we'll leave it at that. But I was going to say something maybe inappropriate, but we don't do that here. So anyway, don't know what happened with that. Star wrestler Jin joined Red Ocean Wrestling. Shinagawa Takahiro found Carl. If I click on Carl and he is a young boy with an eye patch, I'm going nuts. And Carlos let us down. That's all right. And before we call this quits, let's check out Carl. So what is it here? Nope. Offer a contract. And Carl Henry. Oh, okay. Not familiar with the blue-collar bad guy. Carl Henry, 6'4", 238-pound heavyweight. Not shabby. I mean, solid wrestler, skill-wise. Popularity is okay. For $7,700 a month, and he doesn't match our strong style. I'm probably going to pass on Carl, but he is not a young boy with an eye patch. He's a 31-year-old man, damn it. All right, and now that I'm just kind of looking at this, I don't recall seeing that Chris Jericho left AEW. Wow, AEW, 6 guys, and they are, at least WWE has 8. So it looks like AEW could be in financial distress. I could try to go in. Let's see. Jack Perry is within, certainly salary, 2.8. 2.8 Wardlow. We don't want Wardlow. 11.5 Moxley. 10.5 Bryan. 10.5 MJF. And 2.8. Now, if this is a real world scenario, of course, this is our target, and it's not even close. We'd want MJF. But in the world of online fantasy wrestling, popularity is what matters. His mic skills, I guess you could kind of lump that in with it. We just don't get to see it. But Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson are American superstars. So that would probably be, and Bryan Danielson would be the ultimate get. And he's a junior. So that would help bolster our, you know what? We might try that on the next episode. Should we try it now? You know what? We're going to try it right now. I'm going to hit this button. But if you have not already done so, I need you to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to be notified when new episodes come out. If you kind of look back in history, you can even see my face if you'd like to. You might be disappointed, but if you look back in the history of the videos, it's a whole mess of different games and whatnot. We really focused on Fire Pro Wrestling here, certainly for the last few months, and we will continue to do so. We might throw in some Dead Side videos if that game comes back with a vengeance and offers my team and I something to play. Shout out to Crush Frequently and Shiznit. But what we're going to do here, though, is I'm going to hit this button and we're going to negotiate. But, however, you're going to have to wait till the next episode to see what Bryan Danielson says. And I'm sorry, I know some of you hate when I do that, but we got to keep you in suspense. I got to hook you for the next episode. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you guys for joining us here. Hope you enjoyed episode 20. I know I did. And if you want to see what Bryan Danielson says, you'll tune into the next episode, and we'll see you then. Take care, everybody.